including the stepdad, who said that the $1,000,000 question was how and why Sebastian left. But I have a different question, or a different way to think of how and why. Number one, how do you keep someone from running who loves to run and can outrun adults? Answer, take them into nature and take away their shoes. Why? Why would you not hide the shoes? Answer, avoid the risk of them being found. Use them as a decoy. You would put them by the front door to let people know that's where he was last, right? Is it repeating? Is it echoing? Do you keep someone from running? No? Okay. I had to do a sound check. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. So that's a big question for me is how and why? Why would the shoes be there if Sebastian left? None of us could answer that, not even the parents or Ellie. But if you look at it in a different way, if you reverse engineer the shoes and you think of the fact that the person would most likely be in their shoes and let's say they are going to eventually end up in the water. You wouldn't want the shoes just floating away. You wouldn't want the problem of the shoes. And so what I would think is that if you're trying to keep someone from running away from you, you would take them in nature, away from everybody, and take away their shoes. And now what do you do with them? Well, if you want to put on a whole new narrative, you can get them back to the front door of the person's house. And boom, you have the $1,000,000 question of how and why. But hey, you guys, that's just my humble opinion. We're going to be talking about Mr. Sebastian Rogers, who is 15 years old. He is missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He is on the spectrum of autism. He is 5.5 feet tall, weighing approximately 120 pounds. He is from Sumner County, and he had a great smile. I say had because we are we're now into months. This child did not have shoes on. He did not have food, water, a phone. He didn't have friends to run to, according to family and friends. This is his dad, Seth, who loves him very much. I want to throw a shout out to everybody that is here with us on the live. I thank you so much. We have an all-star program tonight. A lot of very good thinkers, critical thinkers. And Sassy, Jennifer Swain, excuse me, Jenny Troglin, Mr. Ifs. I haven't seen Wildfire, but she has been busy. I know she has a lot of family responsibilities, but she's been sharing our links on her channel. So I want to say thank you. And I'm sure we'll see Joyful Dolphin. Hello to everybody. I hope you're well. And I want to say thank you so much if you are on replay because you beat the algorithm. Remember, lovely, you have control of your own button and can fast forward as needed. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Riding solo. Hello, lovely. Shannon Effects is here. Michelle Scott says, push the like button, everybody. Keeps this channel on with Mama D and her tendency to get Sebastian recovered and brought home to his real dad and real grandparents. I really am working on it. Hey, Justice Jane, ask Seth, well, I don't talk to Seth, but you say, ask Seth why he doesn't take some of the $25,000 plus the Cash App money and use a portion for a refund for Sebastian. As of now, it is at $0. I have no idea. I'm not into that. I am into trying to find Sebastian himself. And in looking for Sebastian, I worked literally all day. I cannot redo because I cleaned it all up. I took the fluff out and I realized we had a hole in the theory. And I repaired the hole and it fell into place like pickup sticks being put back in the can. It just went clunk, clunk, clunk. And I'm like, holy crapola. So if you are interested, it is being submitted to TBI tonight. And so I'm going to release it tomorrow, but I haven't decided if I'm going to put it under maybe members only for the time being because I don't want it streamed anywhere because it's an actual legitimate theory. And I don't want other people taking it and messing with it. If you feel me, there are people that are nefarious, but I am going to send it off to FBI, TBI, and those are the two places. And I'm thinking about sending it off to one other person that's high up in Tennessee, but I am sending it to the others. I haven't seen Mupp and Top or Born Pack Rat in a while either, but they're very busy people. Hi, Lily. How are you? Make sure share your comments. I'm going to try to read quite a few of them tonight. And let me know if you guys would like to open up the phone lines tonight. So give me a 1 if you want me to open up the phone lines. And if you do, we can do so. And just let me know. Hi, Jude. How are you? Good evening, Mama D in chat. I made a live. Well, thank you, lovely. We're happy to have you with us. Yep, FBI 2. It came out shocking, especially with this concept of the tennis shoes. Why save the shoes? And I thought about it because they would be removed so the person can't run away. Now you've got shoes to contend with. What do you do with them? Right? They're basically evidence. If you put them in evidence and he stepped out of his shoes, well and good, you can just pass them up and they can be put by the front door and you've just simply used a red herring that nobody knows about to insinuate, to plant in the mind a narrative that the child was at home. You want the phone lines open? All right, my lovelies, let's get the phone lines open. I'll give you the number. Let me make sure. It is going to beep and squawk a little bit with some of its little phone sounds, but that's okay. The phone lines, I'd ask my mods to please share. The number is 715-965-8617. Again, call-in number, be my guest, 715-965-8617. You would not release it at all anymore? Go watch replay and let that be just my opinion? Well, I feel like, I mean, the cat's out of the bag anyway, but they wouldn't be able to do anything about it now in this theory, even if they knew I knew. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. I just don't want it streamed all over. I want it kept here at home with us. I don't want it put in the wrong context. I don't want it chopped up. I don't want it delivered with ill and purpose. I'm protective of the theory because I believe it is legitimately a good theory. Thank you, Sassy. 715-965-8617. Again, call in, be my guest, 715-965-8617. Ann says there's a lot of evidence in that house, in my opinion. That's why Chris and Katie don't want the dogs in the house. You know, and I got to thinking how we're all like mystified that the mother left the state. What if Sebastian came home? Well, what if Sebastian is actually very close to where she keeps going, which is the camper? We've got our first caller here. Hello, who do we have here with us? 715. Can you turn us down in the back, please? Thank you, dear. Hello.
Yeah, you know who it is. It's Ruby. But
Hi,
anyway,
Ruby. uh, how are you?
well, I'm good. I just thought that I'd get this ball rolling, because sometimes people are, I don't know if they're shy or whatever, like, to call in. So anyway, I was watching some stuff, obviously today, and I just want to get the ball rolling for people, like, feel comfortable calling in and talking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you see my blackout theory?
I, well, yeah, I actually did. And I'm not sure if you saw, like, the comments that he made about it.
Well, if I
Uh,
did, lovely, we had, I think it was a total of 500 to 600 comments. I may not be remembering which one is yours.
it doesn't matter if you remember what mine was. It doesn't matter. But there was definitely, and you know what? Even if your blackout comment or theory is not correct, there was so much stuff in there that is correct. So the one thing that I was talking about in your blackout theory was, oh my gosh, okay. So I live in a home. I'm me, and if I heard a thud, and it's not what you're talking about, the thud. Okay, please. It was a lot. It was a lot, and I feel so. Yeah, this is what happens in my house if a thud would happen. No, no, hey, stop. Like my dog says, like bark. But yeah, but then there was something else that I was thinking about. That was last night, right?
Couple nights ago, yeah.
Yeah. So hey, stop, you guys. Maybe you should let me go.
It's
No,
no
no, I
problem.
don't mean to bomb your place, but it's seriously. Oh God. Yeah, I have to hang up. You know what?
All right,
There goes my
sweetheart.
watch.
Thank you, Ruby. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye. Thanks.
Bye bye, hun. She's such a sweet lady. She is encouraging you to, call in. Don't be afraid. 715-965 8617, and we'll wait for our next caller. Southern says, "Sorry, I can't stay on today, but I will catch a replay." Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, lovely. I'm going to put the headset back on till we get a call. Hey, Starlito. Alrighty, ready? You love our pups? We do love our pups. Mine do that too. I didn't, I thought it would work out and she could stay on. But that's okay. That's okay. I appreciate she called at all, right? Hey, Sasha, how are you doing, lovely? You say, I'm conducting Operation Blackout. I'm conducting? I'm only watching this channel until they get the same page you're on. All right, here we go. Hello, hello. Who do we have with us tonight?
Hey, it's Annie Jean again.
Hi, Annie Jean. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm so happy to hear from you.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, I was reviewing your blackout theory.
Yeah.
Now, what got me was that today I actually kind of reviewed all the information and everything. But what stood out to me, was the original dispatch audio. Um, when they got there, they were claiming that when they went to the retention pond, they saw a footprint. And the dog immediately jumped into the pond, but the footprint was literally a bare footprint with nothing. And they asked what size shoe. So in your blackout theory, I know you said probably like Katie would, run and take the shoes with her and everything, but I don't understand how there could have been a scent with a footprint. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of baffled on that.
Well, that's a great scenario, but I don't believe that the dog hit on the footprint. If you listen, they say there are bare footprints in the area, but the dog dove in the water and hit.
Yeah. He did.
So I have adjusted the theory. So tomorrow, that's what I was sharing with you guys, is tomorrow I will be releasing. I'm not sure if it'll be members only, but most likely, just because I don't want it, like I said, hacked up and taken out of context. I want it in full context. But
Right. And you sent it to TBI?
yep, and
Oh, cool.
yes, and FBI. And so
Awesome.
the theory did get adjusted because of holes, and I will address that. I will say that gets addressed because the
Yes.
complication would be that there would be only a trail between the construction site and Sebastian's house only. So that was a hole, and I had to figure it out. And when I did, that's when it all clicked like that. And I was like, oh, we thought we had a theory. We were on the edge of the theory. We're now at the heart of the theory. It's the same three players, but there's some role switching.
Yes. And I'm excited to see all that tomorrow. I'm always excited to see what you got to say and what you have and everything. I have all the information myself, and I kind of want to piece together what I think, but I haven't put out a theory of my own yet. So, but Mama D, you're doing great. I'm really
Well, thank
excited.
you.
I hope that TBI can consider, looking into it. That would be awesome. And if you're right, oh my gosh, that is just something. You have a gift.
Well, I
So
think that I think we may have also. I did some more research and narrowed down some areas. If we can reach out to people, my email is rubberducky2005@yahoo.com. If you live in Mississippi and you're willing to be boots on the ground, email me and I can give you the personal locations of where a good search location would be for Sebastian.
yes. I hope everyone heard that. That's very, very good.
I really do feel that we're looking. I originally thought 5-10 miles. I think we're in about, I would say 20 miles radius of a location where Sebastian could be. But there is the Mississippi River right there.
Exactly. And you don't know what's lurking in those waters either. I mean, that's pretty scary when you think about it. I mean,
Right?
you don't really know what to think. Alligators and everything else that's in there. I mean,
Yeah.
how could you find anything, left over if that would have happened? They would have to really, really scatter that whole area.
There could be clothing. There could be signs of it. There could be evidence that.
Yes.
Okay, think of the Harmony Montgomery case. Let's keep it PG because of YouTube makes us spell. But in the Harmony Montgomery case, we never did have a recovery. Yet Adam was sentenced to what, 59 years in prison?
Right.
There's no unsolvable crime. It's solvable. And if this is where we're thinking this is, there could be something we're unaware of that could be tracked, traced, found, so forth, that wouldn't necessarily be him per se, but there could be some evidence that, like I said, says, okay, here is the story. I pray.
Exactly. But what kind of got me too is that Chris Proudfoot in his, the first interviews that he was saying, that apparently he wore a black shirt with some black pants with a stripe on it, right?
Yep, white
To
stripe.
bed.
Yep.
According to Katie. Well, then after that, about maybe, a month or two after, he switched the story and said, oh no, there could be a character or something on it. So it's like, we don't really even know what we're looking for. Are we looking for a black shirt? Are we looking for a shirt with a character? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird that he kind of just,
I think you just gave me a tip.
Oh, I did.
I think you did because, I started this off and I was like, how do you get someone that loves to run, that can outrun adults, to not run if you want to detain them? Well, you take them in the woods and you'd take away their shoes. But let's say that they got so scared that they overcame their fear to run. You'd want to be able to see them really quick. So even though you wouldn't want everybody to see them, you'd go ahead, let them dress in black, but you'd put a reflective strip down the leg on both sides so you could just shine a little headlight that way and clearly see where the person was hiding.
That is very true, yes.
I'm telling you, everything matters, every detail, if this was premeditated.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And those scratches that you said, that everybody's saying that there could be bite marks, there could be scratches. I mean, they could be something where he was in the woods, and he got caught on something. I mean, it could be some kind of brush that you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Sometimes that could happen too, when you're in the woods. I mean, sometimes you brush up against the trees or something and you get, scraped, or, I mean, those marks matter. And I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why law enforcement didn't really look into that a little bit more, because those marks really, really said something to me. I mean, I would have definitely questioned him more on that.
Well, Annie, there is a vigil that I guess it went pretty good from what I heard. I wasn't online much today because I literally had to concentrate on developing the theory and get it ready. But I heard the vigil for Sebastian went well. Did you hear that too, or?
Yes, actually, I did watch it. It was beautiful. I mean, they had a line of motorcycles and cars, and there were a lot of people there. I mean, everybody was just rooting for Sebastian. I mean, hearts everywhere, love signs. I mean, I was on the live chat, so everybody was saying Sebastian strong. I mean, he has so much love and so much support by everybody. I mean, it's so beautiful.
Wait, Annie, that's
Yes.
not really true, is it? We didn't see two people out there. There were two
That
important
is
people.
true.
So we can't say
but-
everybody, right? We can't say everybody.
Okay, yeah, not everybody. I'm sorry. I wasn't even
I'm
thinking
just
about
joking.
that.
But seriously, did they show up?
No, he didn't. They didn't show up.
Chris nor Katie, neither one of them?
I'm sorry?
Chris nor Katie showed up at all for their son's vigil?
No, unfortunately not. And according to Seth, he said that he was originally going to have it at a church, but because that was the only way Chris Proudfoot would come. Well, he ended up I guess Chris Proudfoot a couple weeks ago called in and said, no, we're not coming anyway. So then they ended up having it over there at, what was it?
Was it the beach school?
Yeah, the beach school. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And he, Seth was really disappointed. So they ended up having it over there, and he said, well, I mean, we tried our best. I mean, but they just didn't want to come. So, but, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they could be saying because there's threats, but I have no idea why they wouldn't want to show up to their own son's vigil. That is so sad to me. I mean, that is really, really upsetting, and I really just don't understand that. So, but other than them, it went beautiful. I mean, I watched the whole thing.
I am just so relieved because Sebastian deserves unconditional love, and for everybody to be able to come together and be supportive and act like adults and make it about Sebastian and show Sebastian's strength in numbers like that, it just warms my heart. I literally look forward to watching it this evening. When I put my head down on my bed, I'm going to watch it. But I heard it brought, like a lot of people told me, it brought them to tears.
Yes. And I'm looking at your chat, and somebody just said that they thought Chris was there. I didn't hear that.
Okay. Yep, Chris and Katie was not there, says Ann. Other people are saying not there. So some.
Yeah. I just want to put
Chris
that out there.
showed
That
up?
I mean, if there's something that I wasn't, sure of, that.
Let's verify that. Tony was there and Chris was there, says Judy Hosey. All right, let's see if anybody else can tell me if Chris showed up.
Did Chris show up, guys? I'm not
Give me a
sure.
1. We don't know. Me and Annie don't know. Did Chris show up? Give me a 1 if you heard that Chris showed up. Give me a 2 if you heard he did not. We got trolls, says Jenny.
Oh, no.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe somebody did see Chris.
Okay, yeah, because from my information, the last time I heard, Chris was not there.
Jacqueline
but,
says no.
I mean, maybe.
We have a 2, no.
No.
Diane
okay.
Kelly, no.
Yeah, I mean, because
Jacqueline,
I
no.
watched it and I didn't see him. So I mean, unless he was in the distance and they
We
didn't
have
show
all
him, but
twos. We have
I
all
don't know why
twos,
they
Annie.
wouldn't show him.
Fallon's
Yeah,
saying
it's all
2, 2, 2, 2,
two. Yeah,
2,
he
2.
didn't come.
Yeah. I was going to be in shock.
Yeah, I would have been too, because I was watching the whole thing and I'm like, okay, well, if he was there, you would think that they would like point the camera. You know, we got to get Chris Proudfoot on, you know, live TV right now, you know, because this is a rare moment. But no, I honestly I didn't see him, so
Yeah.
Gotcha,
yeah, Tiffany.
So,
yeah, Tiffany Crockett says they're trolls, Melody.
Okay. All right.
Terry Lynn was there. Yeah, Terry Lynn does a good job getting them boots on the ground. I'm gonna hopefully see if she would be willing to maybe because she does boots on the ground, and she's with us having this idea where to possibly, just a suggestion of where to look. I'm gonna try to get that location in her direction and let her do with it what she will. You know, I am very far away, and so are you. We're too far away. But perhaps somebody with, you know, capable means like Terry Lynn, maybe she could, you know, would be willing to check out that area.
Yeah, or maybe if she already did, then she can clarify, you know, it's been searched. But yeah, definitely. But I highly doubt it. I mean, we're talking, Mississippi. So yeah. So but yeah, that would be wonderful. You know, Terry Lynn is out there, boots on the ground. That's what we need. So definitely, if you can get a hold of her, that would be really good.
Well, and I don't know how, so I'm going to try through, like, Smiley or something.
Yeah, and you know, another one that is kind of close with her that I noticed is Justice for Jay. Maybe she would know, because I know that she does, you know, a lot of things, and she always talks about Terry Lynn, so possibly her.
All right, that's a good idea. I'm writing it down.
Yes, Justice for Jay.
Idea. Yeah, so that would make sense to me why the shoes would be at the door, because you wouldn't get rid of the evidence, because then you're just dispersing it out there to be found by somebody and trigger everybody into an investigation criminally. So you would want them back at the front door, because it leaves that whole risk, and it kind of puts that alternate, it feeds the alternate timeline that Sebastian was at the house.
Right. And you know, another thing too, I mean, the shoes, they should have picked up the shoes and maybe looked under the soles, seeing if there was any type of mud, anything. I mean, I don't know, they didn't really look at any of that. So, but, you know, if possibly he did put them on and then took them off, or I don't know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just reading what Debbie Hawks wrote, and I've got to try to find, I think they already removed her. That was a very vile statement. I'm glad nobody's letting her talk. That was bad.
Oh, no, I missed it. I didn't see it.
No, it's gone.
Oh, okay, good.
The mods are busy tonight. Anytime we're getting close, you know, I feel the same as you've said, too. You pointed out to me when we talked offline, you know, that when we're getting close to something hot, we get trolls. We get trolled.
Yes.
Yes, crystal clear. Could you do that for me, please, lovely? I would greatly appreciate it.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, Terry Lynn's email would be fantastic. Thank you. So, when it comes to Sebastian himself, I was thinking about... and I have anxiety because of this theory, as you know, it doesn't bode well, but neither do landfills, right, being searched.
Yes, yes.
And it is interesting how well, let's just say Chris P, right? So I call him Crispy now. Um, let's just say his entire family seems to somehow be surrounding Sebastian the whole day before he goes miss or before he's reported missing. Like the whole last day of his life, it's like interacting with cousins and aunts, all from the, you know, Chris P's side of the family.
Right. It's just like a Madeline Soto, like her birthday. It's kind of eerie to think about that. And another thing was so weird. I don't know about anybody else, but my garbage only comes once a week. And why would he disappear like the day before the garbage would be picked up? Like that is so weird to me because I don't know about anybody else, but my garbage comes once a week on one day.
Yeah.
But kind of take that too. I mean,
Well, I do wonder when they say the garbage was a little bit heavier. They never,
mhm,
I worry about that, but I'll tell you now, had it been 125 pounds, right?
mhm.
I feel like,
You
that,
said the security system's possibly in there. I think you mentioned that the last show.
well, yeah, I wonder if all the cameras aren't in there. Because
Mhm,
you wouldn't want to throw them away early and then somebody be in your garbage because, once you throw it in the
mhm.
garbage, anybody can search your garbage. So if you threw it away late at night on the next morning, they're taking it. Kind of
Right.
makes you wonder if that could be what they do.
Yeah, and that would be all evidence because if there's any camera footage, they would definitely have taken that. So that's just explaining to everybody why they would have thrown out the camera footage, trying to get rid of evidence. So I have no idea. I mean, it's just kind of strange to me that um, that Sebastian would go missing before a garbage day. I mean, any day of the week, it has to be before the garbage day. I mean, it's just off track to me.
I just accidentally hit the music button, so we're going to get hit. I was trying to switch screens.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so for like 30 seconds, everybody heard like really loud music. I'm sorry.
Oh, are we back on now?
We are.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, no, as I was saying, I just found it very strange that he would go missing the day before garbage day. I mean, that's
You
just
do
kind
have an
of
excellent
strange to
point,
me. So,
Annie. Excellent point.
yes.
Makes me
I mean, out of
worry.
all the days of the week, it has to be the day before the garbage comes. It's like, come on, really?
Carolyn Miller says Sebastian actually weighed 105 pounds. I don't understand why they say he weighed 120 pounds. He was thin and frail and underweight. I'm not sure how you
Oh
know
my
that, but that's
gosh, I'm not
interesting.
sure. Maybe Carolyn knows him. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Carolyn Miller, do you personally know Sebastian? We Stand Together says, what is going on tonight? We are just doing call ins. We are keeping Sebastian's name out there. We're getting into theories, right? We're talking about hopefully
Yes.
narrowing down where to look for Sebastian and hopefully connecting some dots. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, and I appreciate Annie you staying with me on this, and feel free to jump in. But I want to talk about the idea that I'm starting to work on, and I have received some information already of where to start on getting a Sebastian law passed. And it would be called Sebastian's Law, which would then be anyone 13 and under, okay? We were going to go 12,
Mhm.
but we're going 13 and under, or an Amber Alert would qualify instantly from the get go, automatically for a criminal investigation rather than being treated as a runaway or being treated as a missing person, it would be treated as a criminal investigation, which would segregate the parents or segregate whoever was the person's in last contact into interrogation immediately. Like on maybe there's a 24-hour or I don't know, 24-hour hold or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get everything recorded separately, nobody getting their stories corroborated, and so forth. And so I've begun, like, even though I was working on this theory today, I did get my first emails that gave me addresses, and I kind of in the back of my head, I'm getting a plan together. But you guys also reach out to the link that I pinned. I believe it's still pinned. Yeah. To the FBI petition of Sebastian Rogers, because it is possible Sebastian Rogers could be in Mississippi or even Arkansas. And here's why. If he went into the Mississippi River, it splits into Arkansas as well. And we don't know where the water would steer him, right?
Right, right.
So it would require the FBI to be getting involved. Now, I have no idea if it will help, but all we can do is try. It's a signature online, and I provided the link pinned above, and I appreciate anybody that comes in and supports this. So that's what we're doing. I am working on getting the Sebastian law at least started. I have no idea how to pass laws. I'm a mom. But if other people have done it, and there's a gentleman I'll be reaching out to in Wisconsin that has passed, I believe it's Lily Peterson's law. And so he happens to be not too far from where I live. And I think he'll be more than happy to help me, get guided along. And I'll keep you guys updated as we go. It could take a year, could take 2 years to get this law passed. I don't know. But the idea, what do you think of the idea, Annie?
I think it's a really good idea, but I think that there should be a timeline, of how long the child has to be missing. So maybe I would say 3 days. Because if they do a criminal investigation, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of, time and take away work, and if they end up finding the child, the child comes back just randomly, it would probably be kind of just, waste of time for law enforcement. So I would say give it, put it in there like a timeline of how long the child is missing. And if it's missing for so long, then start that criminal investigation. But I don't know how you feel about that, because I know you said immediately. But
Yeah, I would feel immediately, but I can see your point. It would be
yeah,
costly and so forth. But the reason I say immediately is because the first 24 hours and 48 hours are absolutely the most vital.
I totally get that too. But then also at the same time, the child could come back.
You're
I mean,
right.
like, like say it's just like a child, a little toddler that got out of the house, you know what I mean? And, they search and everything like that, and then all of a sudden they just take the parents right away, criminal investigation, and then they find them, about maybe 5 hours away, down the road, that playing in a ditch, you know what I mean, like safe and okay. I mean, not logically, that probably would never happen, but I'm just trying to put a scenario out
You
there,
do you do have a good point, and I think what we'll do is we'll put it out there for people. You guys do some thinking on it and give us your opinion, because we want to make this law as passable as possible. What are your thoughts? Do you think that there should be, like Annie's saying, rather than every single case being immediately, you have to start the criminal process and so forth, should there be a waiting time frame, like she said, 72 hours? And then it would be triggered into, if there's an Amber Alert or the child is 13 ages or younger, years or younger, would then trigger an Amber Alert. Give me a 1 if you think that it should be immediate. Give me a 2 if you think, like she's saying, like a 72-hour waiting period before it started. Because we want to make sure we're doing this right. We don't want to have to do it twice. And Some of your chat needs to chill and chat. If you had any respect for Mama D, or furthermore for Sebastian, you wouldn't be so disrespectful. Aw, Anne, honey. We have trolls tonight. I'm trying to block them too. We have a lot. There's, they're just distraction. Sometimes I have to just ignore them, just block them and go.
Okay, we have a lot of ones, so that's pretty awesome. They're agreeing with you. That is really good. All right, maybe, I mean, I just wasn't sure, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought maybe if the child would, you know, come back, maybe, you know.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? This is how I would ask myself, right? Ask yourself this. If it were my child and I knew I'm telling the police I'm innocent 100% and my child's really missing, and I'm telling you he didn't run out that door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want him to have to wait 72 hours to begin the criminal investigation?
Right, exactly. No, I mean, if they suspect that it's criminal, I mean, no matter what, they're going to start a criminal investigation. But if they do not suspect any criminal investigation, like we're having right now, where they don't suspect anything, and we're 3 months into this, and there's still nothing. I mean, there's got to be some kind of a timeline or some, either immediately or a day or 72 hours, whenever. I mean, that has to be criminally looked at, like you said. So no matter what, it should be into law, no matter what, either immediately or a time frame, whenever. It should be looked at. I totally agree.
Okay, you do have somebody backing you, and I agree with you in some respect too. I'm taking it serious because I do agree with you, Annie. I can see your side. Spiritually Enchanted says, I think an Amber Alert should be done ASAP, but yes, 72 hours unless Ellie has a suspicion of the parents. Now that could be, I like that. I think that's a great idea, Annie, and Spiritually Enchanted.
Okay,
Put the number on the screen. All right, you guys, hold on. Let me go. They want the phone number on the screen, so I got.
Oh, that's fine. I can totally hang up with you if they're, I
Okay.
don't want to take the whole time here. If
We do
somebody
have a
else wants
call.
to come on and
Yeah, we have a call now. Should we take it? Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, go for ahead. All right, love you, Mama D. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Let's see if I got this person. Hello, you are on the air. Thank you for being my guest.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Who have we got with us tonight?
My name is Alicia, and I just want to thank you and all the other content creators or podcasters for just keeping the story going.
Thank you.
You know, so many cases get lost in the shuffle, and I'm just appreciative. I'm just happy that you guys are keeping the story going, because my feeling and belief is that something bad took place in that house that night. I think Katie knows more. I feel like other people in the comments probably feel the same way too. Think that she did something to him. So I feel like it's criminal, but I don't think that she did it probably on purpose. Like it was just.
So maybe an accident?
I don't know how you guys feel about psychic, but I'm following one who predicted quite a few things that came true, and maybe some people heard of her, Psychic Sleuth. And she said some things. She said that and this was before all this came out this month, that she said like early last month, that she seen that he was being drugged and that Katie had bipolar.
We have to be careful about saying certain words on YouTube. We got to spell them. Otherwise, or they take our video down.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate any PG information you'd like to drop. I really do.
Any what?
PG. Keep it PG if you would, please.
Oh.
PG rating.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just feel like he's not far from the home.
Okay.
Because she didn't have time to move him. Is what I felt.
Okay.
And I just need to be researched again.
Yeah.
And it's because I feel like they didn't do a good job.
Right.
And how I feel, and I just want to call in and say that, and that's just it's driving me nuts, really, to keep seeing Seth out there looking, all this.
It is
All the stuff that's
heartbreaking.
going on when I feel like Katie and Chris knows, and it's just driving me. That's the reason why they aren't looking, because they already know.
It does feel like it.
Yeah, and I wish too that and then I get off. And I wish too that the law enforcement department down there was similar to like the one in Florida that Maddie Soto, I believe her name has, because they give updates with information.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're actually looking and investigate, doing the work. I don't feel like it's the same for in Tennessee.
Right.
And I feel bad about that because I think honestly, I just feel like this is an easy case to solve, but enough isn't being done, not on you guys' side, because I honestly feel like you, content, they're doing more, and even the guests that follow you guys are doing more than what law enforcement is, and it's just bothersome. So I'm wondering if that's something that you could put if you do create a law. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about creating law, but I'm sure gonna try. I'm sure
Yeah,
gonna try. All our Lebanon family, all we can do is try and push forward. Like I said, there's a gentleman in my area that has already been successful. For Lily Peterson, which I actually know some of her family personally, and it could really, he may have paved the way for us to at least understand how to do it.
Okay. Are you a mom?
I am.
I'm not. But I just, as a woman, I just can't. I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing that. It would just be eating me up knowing because I feel like Katie did something. I don't know how she's waking up every day and living with herself.
I'm not
I've
sure.
been letting this go on for so long, so that's, I don't know. I keep wrestling with that. I just can't understand that.
Yeah, I don't even try
I'm not
to.
looking for him. I don't understand.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to understand, because sometimes, I mean, there are crimes where people do things that we're never going to understand. And all we do is waste our time trying to understand them, because we can't. We're not ever going to make sense of something that should never happen, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll try to put that behind, but I just still can't fathom it. But yeah, that's all I was calling for.
Well, I appreciate your call in so
thank
much.
you guys for everything you're doing with keeping the story alive.
And thank you for calling in. I hope you'll call back.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, Alicia. That was Alicia, and I greatly appreciate her call. And I can see where, it's very, very frustrating. I mean, I think we all feel frustrated by it. And hold on just a minute. I think we have another caller. Hello, you are on the air with Mama D. Be my guest. Hello.
Hi, Mama D. It's Ann.
Who is it?
Ann?
Oh, hi, Ann. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am well. How?
Good. I just want to apologize for your trolls in the chat, first off.
That's okay.
So,
I'm gonna take just a second, sweetheart, before we start. I'm gonna let you know if your number says restricted, I will not take the call. I have to be
it
able
came
to.
up restricted?
No, you're not, sweetie. I'm talking out to the audience, okay? whoever is calling in under a restricted number, I do not take restricted calls, so you'll have to dial in with a real phone number to let me know you're a real person. Sorry about that, Ann. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So these are just my opinions.
Please share.
I just want to let you know that so my opinion is, first off, I don't trust anything that Katie or Chris is saying. I don't believe one word that comes out of their mouth. Like, first off, when she says, fun fact, I got up and made breakfast. Well, isn't that your responsibility as a mom? I cook, for my kids all the time. My kids are grown.
Right.
I'm sick. I have a lot of health problems, but I move. I still cook for my kids, and they're grown kids. My youngest is 16 years old. You know what? Mama D, I still go in his room. I still check on my.
That's because you're a mom.
Well, yeah.
Right?
What is she trying to say? That Sebastian was doing, odd stuff to himself? Because, well, as you guys could all know, he's a 15-year-old boy. He could be doing stuff to himself. I have a 16-year-old son. I still go in my son's room and check on him. I don't knock on my kid's door because, you know what? I tell my kids, I pay the bills. I don't need to knock on anybody's door in my house.
Right.
That just didn't make sense to me. I left you a message in your chat last night, and I don't know if you were on T-Rose.
No, I actually didn't get to be on T-Revs last night.
Well, no, this was a few months ago. He was talking to Nancy. Nancy was taking pictures when Katie and Chris were out at the RV. How can they say they don't have cameras at their house when they have a camera right in front of the door of the RV?
I don't know.
So Nancy had went out there and she took us, to show us this river. And I was watching you, Mama D, and I don't think Sebastian is in Tennessee. I honestly think that he is in between Memphis and Mississippi. Now, when you broke it down, I was like, oh my God, I think Mama D's right. Like,
I pray I'm not, but it does not bode well when all the pieces are starting to click in. And then, like I said, be sure and tune in tomorrow. Are you a member?
I'm not a member. I subscribe to your channel.
Okay. I'm going to try to figure out, how to do it so that it's not going to be cut into pieces and put out of context. But I would like to get it out there for people. So that if somebody is in Mississippi and they can follow it, they can be like, okay, I'm going to look. And that way it would maybe direct us in more specific areas for searches.
Right. And Mama D, you got to go check T-Rev, because if you're subscribed to T-Rev, you can see what I'm talking about. Nancy took us on this trip. She showed us this river, and across the street there's a bunch of bushes, and then where she took us, there's more bushes.
Where'd she take you, Mississippi?
Yeah, it's where they were at Yogi Bear.
Okay.
And there's
we got somebody calling from Tennessee.
But you have to look at that, Mama D.
I will. I will certainly do that. I'll look it up on Nancy on T-Revs and see what it is.
Yes, you have
Absolutely.
to. And that's why I called you, because none of it makes sense.
Right, right.
Why was Sebastian wearing diapers over at Katie and Chris's, but not SS? Right. And I get it. He was upset with Trevor. He's been on the case before anybody.
Well, and I decided that that's probably not what we want to talk about, because obviously I feel like there was a lot of misunderstanding going on amongst all them group. I very much value Smiley for being who she is. She did her best, and I support her. I support anybody, including the real father, searching for Sebastian.
Me too.
And I do not have any negative feelings toward the gentleman T-Rab, because
Me either.
I do feel that call, I believe it was going to come out no matter what. And when
Yeah.
anybody is threatening another person's life, I feel if there's a recording of it and the truth could actually set us free to understand, I think it should have been released. But then, it's not my life. I don't know. But as a creator, I do want transparency. And I know we get personally involved with our cases. I mean, our heart gets in our cases. And
Right.
we want to, I think we get overzealous. I know I do, in protecting
The
Sebastian in a
kids.
way.
Kids, period.
Yeah, kids, period. But when I'm working Sebastian's case, I tend to try to, I don't know, I feel like I get so protective, I will get too easily sucked in drama. So instead, I've got to focus on trying to figure out where to search for him. Where would there be clues? What direction would he have actually been taken to if he was abducted? And would it have been a planned abduction, if you follow me? There's a lot to really think of. And no, it's not T-Rev 757 that
No,
Seth
it's
had
Trevor
any
Lee.
problem. It's Trev. Now, T-Rev 757 is wonderful. He's my little brother, and I adore him. I do not know Trev at all.
Yeah, it's
But
Trevor Lee. It's not
yeah,
T-Red.
right, Trev Lee. T-Rev Lee, or how I say his name. I'm unfamiliar with him, but I do know through other creators that I have, I know pretty good, like Smiley and stuff. All right. Or
Trevor
Noah pretty
Lee,
good.
Mama D, is
That
the one
he's a
who came
helper.
out with Nina's interview.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Doing good work.
And the only reason I brought Trevor Lee up is because even if you look at that, that's what made Chris look even more guilty, is because he reminds me of an abusive woman abuser, child abuser.
Let's be
if he could,
careful, hon, because of YouTube. We have to use PG words, or they
oh,
literally remove the video. So
okay, I'm sorry.
and I'm just going to put an announcement out there for all my beautiful callers. If you do call in, remember, YouTube literally is very cautious about what we're allowed to say, unfortunately, and does censor us. And so we need to spell words that we would not say in front of very young children and stuff. Sorry, lovely.
Okay.
Just
No,
letting you know,
you're
and
fine.
everybody else
I
know too.
apologize.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, that's the only reason why I brought Trevor Lee up, is because of that simple fact. And Mama D, if you look at the picture of the tan shirt, zoom into his neck. Zoom into that picture.
I will. I
Sebastian's
already
neck.
have. I have already. I pointed out a bunch of it. Whoever is trying to call in using a restricted number, you will not get through. So you're wasting your time. Yeah, I have. I pointed out in the very beginning on the first interview, and everybody jumped me at first. I didn't care because I was trying to say, what are all these what appears to be bruises on this child? And everybody
Yes.
was like, there are no bruises, but there were.
There is.
Well, lovely. Should we take this next call?
Yeah, go ahead, Mama D. I just wanted to let you know a little bit of that,
Well, thank you.
And you take care of yourself, Mama D. I'm going to hop back into your chat.
I thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Hey, me too, Mama D. You take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You guys, the phone lines are open, 715, and let's see, 715-965-8617. Let's get our next caller on the line. Thank you for being my guest. Who do we have with us tonight?
Hi, I'm Sherry from New Albany, Mississippi.
Hi, Sherry. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. I live about maybe an hour from where Chris had the camper.
Okay.
I used to live in Horn Lake, so I'm pretty familiar with the
You
area.
are. All right, because
Uh,
I got some places. Is there any way we could maybe connect on an email or something and we could get people checking some stuff?
well, I'm not physically able to go do it
Okay.
myself,
I totally respect
um,
that.
but I've got a lot of different theories on this, and they keep changing because none of it makes sense. It's like everybody says it. None of it
Sherry,
makes sense.
would you happen to know anyone that would be willing, or if you think of anybody, would you be willing to email me, and let me know, and that way I could see. I'm just looking for anybody in the area that knows the area to give me a little
Yeah.
bit more insight into it and do some boots on the ground checks.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've
But
got
share your
relatives
theory.
in law enforcement, but they're not in DeSoto County, which
Okay.
is where Horn Lake is.
Yep. And that's where I
They're
need the person. Yeah.
yeah, they're in Tate County. Uh, so I don't really know. I mean, I can think about it and see what I can come up with. But I was wondering too, and I don't know the route. I'm not real good at geography. I'm sorry. I don't know the route between Horn Lake and Hendersonville. Do you know if he would have taken like the trace?
I don't know the area myself. That's why I'm looking for
Okay.
locals to be able
I
to
didn't know if
guide
that
me.
was ever discussed or not.
What do you mean by the trace?
Um, I can't even think of the full name of it right now, but it's a very beautiful drive. But a lot of people don't take it because you have to slow down. It's more of a scenic route.
Mm-hmm.
Natchez Trace. I couldn't get it. I couldn't
Could
think
you
what it was.
could
But
you
it's Natchez.
spell that?
Natchez, I believe. It's called the Natchez Trace Parkway.
Okay. Thank you, hon. I wrote it down. I just want to
But
have it so I can look at it.
it's all wooded area. And I know that one time, back when I was married, my husband and I took it to go to Nashville.
Okay.
And I mean, there's more than one way to go. He may have gone straight down 40 through, into Memphis since he was working in Memphis. But there's just so much stuff. I mean, my first thought was about, what he was doing at St. Jude
Okay.
and, all the concrete work. I know people have talked about that. But I also know with it, I haven't seen the construction down there, but I know about how things are down there because it's such a high crime area. I know that, especially with it being St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, they're going to have cameras everywhere. So I kind of doubt that he would have done anything there.
I agree.
And my thinking on,
Let
I
me
don't know,
ask you.
even,
Let me ask you this, Sherry. Okay.
uh-huh,
If you were going to, let me see how I can say this in our PG YouTube rating here. If you're going to put someone below, okay,
right,
all
uh-huh,
right. Why would you take their shoes? Right? But if the shoes actually would come to the surface or get swooshed off, you might have a secondary reason of taking the shoes, not only to keep them from running away, but so they don't get washed up on shore somewhere and give away destination clues. And so to
true.
me, I'm really leaning toward that Mississippi River.
Oh, yeah, no, the Mississippi River, definitely. But
I found a place that the
I'm trying to
road goes
place that
right to it.
campground. Yeah, I'm not. There's several different campgrounds in that area,
Yeah,
and I've
like
kind of
Horn Lake
forgotten the names of
Campground.
streets.
Well,
Yeah,
there's this one campground that is exactly 17 miles from literally the boat dock, and it's a straight shot right to the Mississippi River. 17 miles from Horn Lake campsite.
from Horn Lake.
Yeah, from a campsite at Horn Lake, it's 17 miles,
Okay,
which is 20.
so
I think it's 17.5 miles, and it's 27 minutes because you have to go a little slower. But it takes
uh
you literally to the boat dock where you get into the Mississippi and there's nothing impeding you, and there's,
Right.
I think, only 5 houses on that whole trip.
Well, and we've got so many lakes around here too.
True.
Some bigger ones, some smaller ones. I mean, there's a lot in between. Like when you go to Horn Lake, like the next big city would be Hernando. That's not
Okay.
really a big city, but you know, for Mississippi, it's a pretty well populated area now. But there's a lake there, and Lake Ormont, or that
Okay.
might be down here.
Yeah, I was looking at the map today. But
Yeah.
I really do think it would be some moving water, most likely, such as the Mississippi, because that way it washes right into the Gulf.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want it hanging around. I'm just saying, you know what you feel me.
Right. Well, there was another case that happened. This was been, I guess, about a year ago, that involved a mother and a baby. I don't know if you heard about that. It was right around Christmas time. And
No, I'm focused on is
okay, well,
Sebastian.
it hasn't gotten any coverage. It hasn't gotten any
Okay.
coverage. The mother was unalived.
Okay.
The how can I put this? Okay, we're talking about the Mississippi River.
Uh-huh.
The baby was only a few days old.
Okay, leave it at that so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah. Car
Right,
seat
right.
was found
Oh.
by a dumpster.
Okay.
But,
I can't hardly handle
yeah.
it. Wow.
You get my drift?
Yep.
But the boyfriend fessed up to doing something with the baby. But she's never been found.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah, the Mississippi River is pretty tricky. There's a lot that happens right there in Memphis, right there by the Bass Pro Shop.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff, because that's right there at Beale Street. I'm from Memphis, and
Right.
I refuse to go in Memphis unless I have to. I really hate it. But, yeah, I mean, I thought about, you know, when I was talking about Natchez Trace, there's a dam and spillway and stuff on the way.
Wild Man's mom
down.
is saying JLR did his first interview with Seth at Natchez Park Sign with 2 of his buddies that they searched that area.
Oh, well, I don't put too much stock in anything JLR says.
No, but I saw the interview. They're right, because I saw the sign behind Seth. So
Okay.
Seth did do a multiple day search there.
Okay.
I do know that was search, but I do have my eyes on, like I said, there's some specific points that take us right directly towards the Mississippi River, and there's nobody in between there.
Right.
There's no cameras. There's hardly any houses. It would be in the middle of the night. There'd be no trace.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could, you know, I wish I was physically able to get out and do some searching, and
Well,
I'm
I
not
can't either, but it's not
physically
because
able to.
I'm unable to because of distance, right?
Yeah.
But I feel you. I feel like my hands are tied too.
Yeah, the only time I go up in that area at all is like when I have doctor's appointments. I go to South Haven, which is, you know, on the other side, is closer to Memphis. But Horn Lake's like 10 minutes from Memphis.
Okay.
I mean, it literally
I can
probably
see
took
that.
Chris, it probably took Chris maybe 15, 20 minutes to get from Horn Lake to St. Jude if he was having to be there at 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it said 22 on the map or something.
Yeah, it's also called 78, but they've changed all
Yeah.
that where it's called 22. But yeah, and then it goes around to 40 or 240. 240 wraps around Memphis.
Yep.
But St. Jude is like right down at the river.
Right, right.
So I don't know. I just hope this little boy is found. I look at him and I think about my oldest son was not autistic, and I know I've heard you talk about your son. My son had Tourette syndrome, and he had ADHD, and he had a 69 IQ, and all that, caused a lot of behavior problems. And then when he was 18, he fell over 100 feet while he was in Job Corps in Bristol, Tennessee,
Okay.
and he broke his neck and his back.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so, and then I ended up losing him 7 years later.
Oh
So
my gosh,
when
hon, I'm so sorry.
all these things that, just looking at Sebastian, there's so much about him. I've missed all the videos where he's actually talking. I haven't come across those yet, but all these things just make me think of Billy.
Yeah.
And I know how difficult he was, and I know how exasperated I would get. I mean, I never hurt him, but there were times I had to walk away.
Well, and I
And
think
so,
that's even if you have a child without any special needs, I'm going to tell you, lovely, and I know you feel the same way I do. Sometimes it's kids you just got to walk away because
yeah,
they do frustrate you, especially if you have a whole bunch of them. And
yeah,
it's not hard to walk away because it's like, well, I just don't want to deal with this. This is not something I
yeah,
can handle right now. And you have to take a 5 minute just to cool your brain. I'd lock myself in the
right.
bathroom when my kids were little for like 2, 3
Uh-huh.
minutes just to catch my brain.
Oh yeah, I've
You
got
know,
twins
just,
too, so I can
oh, you do
remember.
have your hands
And
full.
they were like the perfect kids, but still, between them and my oldest one, I was like pulling my hair out, and I can remember getting so exasperated and just thinking, what am I going to do? So I can kind of see, not exactly, but I can kind of see if if Katie felt, I mean, she was there supposedly by herself, and if something happened,
Are you meaning like
and
accidental or something?
I think it would probably be more maybe a combination of accidental and not accidental, you know what I'm saying? But I also thought when I heard, I think this was about a week after I started hearing reports about him. I think he'd been gone about 2 weeks or something. Heard about the sleeping medicine,
Right.
and and then that thud. I thought,
Yeah,
well,
that's
if he
not a good
fell,
sound, is it?
no, I mean, he could have been kind of drunk taking the medicine and fell and hit his head, and he already had that issue with, what was it, water? It wasn't water on the brain, was it? It was something like that.
No, it was a deletion, a chromosome deletion. I can't remember what they
Yeah,
called
I'm
it.
not familiar with that, but I know, I've
I
got a
had never heard
grandson
of it
who's
either.
got an issue that we have to be real careful about him getting a head injury. So
Diane,
I don't know.
Diane Kelly, she just wants us to do. I'm going to share with you what she said because I want to do an announcement because I agree with her. If it's an accident at home, call 911. Don't call your husband, okay, y'all?
Right. I agree. I totally agree. I kind of, I listen
Was
to
your
all these
son's
different theories.
accident? We have Beauty Skincare Fanatics says, wasn't your son's accident in the news? I'm from Kingport and remember it.
Yes, it probably was. I had a reporter get in touch with me weeks after it happened. It was all in the news in that area because it happened at Job Corps, and it's right on the state line of Virginia and Tennessee.
Okay.
And they sent out one set of emergency workers, and then they recalled them and sent out another set. So it took over 45 minutes to get somebody there,
Oh,
and it took them almost 2.5 hours to get him out of the ravine.
oh my God, huh?
But that's another whole story. I mean, I wish YouTube had been around back then because I could have used some help
Well, and I would have been there for you if I knew you.
back then. But yeah, that was probably my son. Not all the information in the paper was correct, like his age and whatnot. He was 18 when it happened. I think the paper said he was 16, and so forth. But there was a reporter, and I can't remember his name. He was real sweet. He got in touch with me and told me about the city council meeting where they played the 911 tapes, and they were arguing about who was going to go and who was going to stay.
Right. Oh,
That type
wow.
of thing.
Well, I
But
send you a lot of healing energy and support. I
well, I
have no
thank you for that.
I have no idea what it's to be like in your shoes, but I do know it would be extremely difficult. And I just love you for being who you are and supportive of Sebastian and being a voice for others that have struggled in life. I mean, you obviously have pushed forward through a lot of hell at times, and you still are pushing forward for others. Thank
Well,
you.
I was listening, and I know you don't want to get into the whole Seth thing, and I'm not going to, but listening to Seth be out of control like he was, I get it, because one of the things that I shared on another show the other night was one of the things that they told me when Billy was in the hospital. Um, he was yelling and screaming at me and cussing at me and all kinds of things. I mean, it was ugly.
Okay.
But he didn't do that to other people. He did that to me.
Okay.
And I just told him, hey, you can't do this. I'm here. I'm here for you. I've always been here for you. I didn't do this to you. You got to show me some respect. And I remember a nurse taking me out in the hallway and saying, Sherry, I know that was really hard, but you
Yeah.
did the right thing. But the reason he's doing that is he's lashing out at the only people that he knows that he can count on to still come back and help him.
Right.
And I think Seth is kind of doing the same thing. He's chasing his tail because he's terrified.
Yeah.
He's kind of coming to a realization of what is probably the answer.
Well,
And
I've always said, and I'll still maintain it today, when you get a parent that is truly innocent, they do not give
Mhm.
up. They do not give a fig what anybody thinks. They are desperate. They will yell, they will swear, and they will throw a fit, but it will always be about their missing child. It will not be about drama.
Exactly. I agree. I pray for him and some peace, and pray for this little boy. I hope we're all going to be surprised, and
Oh, I
he's been
pray I'm
off having
wrong
a
on
good
my
time
theory.
somewhere.
I would love to be
Mhm.
wrong on my theory. I would absolutely love it. I'd love it to find that boy. I don't care who finds him. I would just be celebrating.
I know. I'd love to see that he's been in. What was that kid a few months ago that they found in a camper? The people hadn't used the camper, and he'd been hiding out there. Found food in the camper. He was just living his
Yeah,
best life.
yeah.
I mean, this has been going on for a little long now, but
Yeah.
there's always hope until there's not. So,
Should we take the next call, lovely?
sure. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you calling in. Please call me back, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hello. Be my guest. You are on the air.
Hey, Mama D.
Hi. Who's calling in, please?
Hey, this is John.
Did you say Joey?
Yes.
Let me see if I can turn your volume up. Do you have a way to increase your volume at all?
1 second.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good.
I've just been reading the chat, and I noticed that a lot of your chat's been talking about tongue fucking my turd cutter.
Did y'all catch that? You have to laugh because the guy, he sounded about 10 years old, right? And he had to say it. He had to call in to say that and feel good about it when we're working on a missing child. Wow. There are some people I have to literally pray for because you wonder if they have any brain cells left, right? Well, on that note, my lovelies, yeah, it was a young one, I'll tell you that. He wanted to make sure he heard it. All right, we've got a Texas number here. Let's go ahead. Hello, caller. You are on the air. Thank you for being my guest. Who do we have with us tonight?
Hi, this is Janine.
Hi, Janine. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I just wanted to tell you, Mama D, that I watched your show, and I really, really love the way you think, because I think a lot like you. But I love your theory of the blackout,
Oh, well, thank you. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really do.
honey. So do I. So do I. But your theory makes a whole lot of sense. I'm the one in the chat. I don't know if you remember that I can't shake this. Chris was talking about how Sebastian, wanted to be a ninja and Houdini.
Yeah.
And that has bothered me because I have heard him repeat that, several times. And I listen to words because, it's like I listen to people when they play on words, And so that has bothered me. And I thought to myself, well, what happened to Houdini? How did he,
Yeah.
And I think about that, and I think about that pond, or maybe a place over there, maybe by Yogi Bear, campground.
Yeah.
I've thought about, could that be why he says that? I mean, I don't know, but I just can't shake that from my head. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's crazy. All of this is so crazy. I've never, seen something so dysfunctional and just crazy. I don't understand it. Nobody does. I'm sure. That's a mom. I have 10 grandbabies, and I'm going to tell you, this story right here has just driven me crazy. I've cried over it, and that kind of stuff, and it's just, I don't know. But your theory, I have racked my brain with your theory, and I think it makes, good sense.
Well, Janine, I want you to tune in tomorrow because I'm going to be releasing the adjusted because there was a few little holes in it that needed to be really looked at. I pushed it around for a couple days, but I redid the theory using the same basis and the same people. But there is a switch up that it just made everything fall into like a nice little package. And I was like, oh my golly, if you guys think that the old theory had weight, this one's going to blow your mind because this one is so easy. It's like going through hardly nothing for this to happen, and it just blew my mind. But it's FBI and TBI. Definitely have it, and I'll share it. I've got to figure out how I'm sharing it tomorrow. Like I said, I don't want it torn out of context, not make sense, and so forth. But at the same time, I don't want to keep it from everybody either. So I've just got to figure it out. I've just got to figure it out.
Yeah, and just make sure that it lands in the right hands. And
well, it already did. That part's done and over.
Yeah, that's so important because, as we all know, it'll get thrown all over the internet, and people will take and run with it and add to it, and just it'll just you already know what they do.
I do know.
It's terrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh, and I just seen someone in chat say, "Is that Katie?" No, I'm not Katie. You can look at my picture. I'm not Katie.
You don't sound like Katie either. Don't worry, honey. I can tell you're a sweetheart anyway. I can feel your energy when you were talking about Sebastian. I could feel your heart breaking.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I have cried over that little boy. My heart hurts. It just hurts my heart. I've lost 2 husbands. I have lost a granddaughter, and Katie doesn't act like she cares about that baby. And when my little granddaughter died, her daddy took her little casket. He would not let them put that baby in the ground. He jumped in the hole, and they handed him the casket, and he put her in that hole, and it was heartbreaking. So, and my daughter that night, after we buried her, my daughter took a blanket out there to the grave, and my daughter slept next to that baby's grave all night long.
Oh my goodness. I pray for you. I send you tons of healing.
Yeah, yeah, and so I don't understand how a mom can have no emotions like us moms have. Like I said, I got 10 grandkids, and and I just don't understand. I don't get it. Some people I
And
guess are
don't
just not.
try. Don't
Yeah,
try. It's kind of like if somebody's absolutely mad, which to me they have to be like cross some mental line to be able to commit said offense, right? So
right.
I don't think it's healthy for us to go past that. And that's why even in my theory, I
Yeah,
say, at this time, it's done. And I just leave it. I don't venture mentally. I don't cross that line. I don't think we're
yeah,
meant to torture ourselves with that. Um,
yeah.
and
It just bothers me so bad
I
because
totally
I've already
understand,
I've
hon.
already been, I've already been through that kind of thing with
Yeah.
my daughter, my little granddaughter when she passed away, and
Oh,
I don't understand how people can just be so, in my mind, is heartless. Because I have a big heart. My mother was handicapped, and so we took care of my mom.
yeah.
I didn't grow up as a normal child. I grew up taking care of my mom who was handicapped, who was in a wheelchair. I've never seen her walk my whole entire life. And, I'm fixing to be 60, so I grew up taking care of my mom. Putting her in and out of the bathroom, in and out of the bathtub, my sister and I,
Yeah.
um, and it's like, how can you have a child that has, autism and not give them the extra attention and
Right.
love and you have to give them more because they require more.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. I definitely understand.
Yeah,
It comes
but
from
I
a
just
real
want,
place. But as
yeah.
far as Sebastian is concerned, are you able to see posters of him in your area anywhere, or are you hanging up or helping with posters in your neck of the woods?
Well, Miss D, I live in Texas, and
Oh,
I did order me a Sebastian T-shirt. I wear it, when I'm out and when I go to the grocery
awesome.
store. And people, it's mainly women. They ask me, about the shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them his story. But no, there's no flyers over here, of him or anything like that. I never even got an Amber Alert.
Well, if you do want flyers, TBI does have them, and I've been told that Staples will print them for free. So all you would need to do is Google on your phone the website on TBI for Sebastian, and then you can go to any Staples. They have the code, and I've been told that Staples will print you free flyers that you can hang up when you go grocery shopping, or you go get gas or anything, or you go to the bathroom in some store and they'll let you hang up a poster maybe.
Yeah, oh praise God. And I promise you, I will hit up every truck stop in this town to, over by Louisiana, because I go that way because my daughter lives over that way close to Shreveport. So,
Excellent.
it's a good little jump, but I don't mind stopping and, asking, people if I can, put his flyer in their window at their store,
Well,
or
thank you for
ask,
that.
ma'am.
I said thank you for that.
Oh, you don't have to thank me, honey. I just want this little boy to be safe. I want him to come home. He's been gone way too long.
I agree, hon. I agree.
And I just pray for him, and I can't help to get emotional about it because, I just feel like the little boy, didn't really have a good chance in life, I just don't.
A lot
Mm,
of people like myself also feel that same way. I had somebody make a comment on our comment section that he had such a loving environment, and I said usually when CPS has multiple calls, it's not as loving as it appears, in my humble opinion.
exactly, exactly. And Miss D, my son-in-law, he operates a crane, okay? And
Okay.
he makes really good money. Um, but I'm going to tell you, In my honest opinion, just my opinion, I know how much my son-in-law makes, and they live in a beautiful home, brick home, and all that. They have good things in life. They have the good things in life. They can buy toys and that kind of stuff. But in my honest opinion, I think that the Proudfoots are living above their means. And honestly, in Texas, we say, people that live above their means, most of them are quote unquote house poor. What I mean by that is, on the outside, they make you think that, they've got money, they're wealthy, da 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 da, and then, the real truth is that they really don't have what the money that you think that they have,
Yeah.
And they're like trying to keep up with the Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably what's going on there too. And, I think a lot of that stuff that they have, was given, to them, probably by his, mom is my guess. I don't know. It's just a guess, but, I think it's a pretty good guess because, crane operators don't make as much money as, Chris Proudfoot is like, everybody thinks Chris Proudfoot makes. I can assure you that. Because my son-in-law, he does the big, high buildings, and, he does the high crane operating stuff. He doesn't do the little cranes. He uses those big, huge ones,
Yeah, I got it. Gotcha.
Yeah, so, everybody just, I think in my mind, and I know, how much he makes, so I don't think he makes, any more than, Chris Proudfoot.
I really don't know how much he makes, hon. I really don't. I don't even care. I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do care about, because I really don't care how their finances are setting. I do care about this. I do care about the fact that he had to leave that very same day that his stepson gets reported missing to go move his RV in Mississippi.
Yeah. Isn't that a coincidence?
It is. Well, sweetheart, I want to say thank you so humbly much for you calling in, and I send you a ton of healing energy. I truly do. And I appreciate you calling, and I hope that you'll call back soon, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I sure will. God bless you, Miss D.
Well, God bless you too, lovely.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great. You're doing wonderful, okay?
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You have a blessed evening.
You too, love. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being my guest. Who do we have on the call?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. The last gentleman that called in said a couple naughty things. Are you going to do that, or are you friendly?
Nice guy.
Okay. Well, how can I
How
help
you
you
doing?
tonight?
I'm pretty good. I wanted to talk about CP a little bit.
Okay.
And just telling your chat, man, they ain't gonna eat my turd cutter.
No. All right, you guys. With that, we're gonna end the call. Well, I knew it was the same kid. I'm like, but yeah, let me get my headset back on here. We're gonna put the same guy. What's funny and not so funny is that caller had two different states. One was Florida and one was Michigan, and it was the same guy. Two different numbers too. Troll alert. Wow. I knew as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh Lord. I have no idea what that's about, but if they get up on that, happy birthday to them. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Burn. You know what I'm saying? Yep, same guy, Miss Drifts. Just saying. It was that jackass. Who knows? Who knows who it is? Nah, it didn't sound like anybody I know, but you never know with all the voice changers out there. I'm not really worried about it. But When it comes to Sebastian, I really do pray from the bottom of my heart that justice is served as soon as possible. I hope that the universe comes together for us to bring the truth to the surface. And I just really do feel I want to leave it there. I want to just leave it with our hearts, laying with Sebastian, wherever he may be. I pray he's safe, and I pray he gets true justice. Y'all are saying that's probably Chris. Well, if it was, or if it wasn't, doesn't matter, because it didn't hurt a thing, and I'm not even bothered by it. Oh, here's one from Tennessee. Should we see if it's a turd cutter? Okay, I'm not going to put him on speaker. Hold on. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Mom D, it's Dana.
Hey, Dana, hun. I actually don't have you on the air. I just was picking up the phone. I didn't want to just leave you hanging.
I heard them all.
Yeah.
I heard him.
Yeah, I'm going to get off the air, though, hun, because my eyeballs are floating. But will you call me back on the next time we go live?
Yeah, or I'm going to email.
Will you?
Some things I need to talk to you about.
Okay, sweetheart. Sounds good. I love you.
Love you too, sweetie.
Okay, bye-bye. What a sweetheart. I didn't know for sure if we were getting that other call. But I do want to say have a good night. I hope that you stay safe. Take care of your loved ones. Give them hugs and kisses. And you know what? Don't only treat others kind, but also treat yourself kind. I love ya. To the moon and back. Thank you all so incredibly much. I want to shout out to Jennifer. I didn't want to cut the caller off, but Jennifer, thank you so incredibly much for that beautiful snooper chat. You say you're a tiger, Mama D. Thank you, lovely. I greatly appreciate you. And all my mods, I want to say thank you for really putting in the time tonight. You guys did an incredible job. To all the haters and trolls out there, just so you know, you were unsuccessful. We still talked about Sebastian all night. We're still working on our theory, and you're just giving us heads up, you little turd cutter, that we are on the right path. And with that, I promise you, we're not giving up on Sebastian, because we, at 11:11 here on True Crime, are Sebastian Strong. I love you all. To the moon and back.
You can tell yourself and all our friends I was wrong and you were right. But your sins that happened in the dark will come out in the light. I'm not gonna waste my breath, I won't put up a fight. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. never say a thing. But surely as the seasons change, you feel like every finger points at you, 'cause you're to blame. And the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell.